They said the CEO of Grayline Industries never visited his stores. They said he lived in penthouses, flew private jets, and never touched the ground ordinary people walked on. But they were wrong. Because the night Michael Gray went undercover as a janitor, he wasn't looking for secrets. He was about to find a woman standing over a rusted sink, washing her son's clothes with trembling hands, and his entire world would change. What happened next is a story of grace, grit, and an unexpected twist that will stay with you long after it ends. Book Chapter 1, The Sink, The Struggle, and the Secret. Michael Gray had everything, at least, that's what the media believed. A billionaire CEO of the country's largest retail chain, he owned skyscrapers, properties, and a reputation so polished that critics couldn't scratch it. But what no one knew was this. Michael was exhausted from success that felt empty. That's why, under the cover of night and anonymity, he visited one of his struggling stores each month. No cameras, no security, no board members, just a man searching for honesty in a world where everyone wanted something from him. Tonight, he was Michael the janitor, gray uniform, cheap boots, and a mop he still didn't know how to wring properly. He walked through the dim back hallway of store number 47, feeling the sticky floor beneath his feet. It smelled of bleach, and something else. Something heartbreakingly human. A faint sniffle echoed through the silence. He followed the sound to a service sink room. The door was cracked open, and the dim fluorescent light flickered just enough to reveal a woman hunched over a sink. Her sleeves were rolled up, arms soaked to the elbows, scrubbing a tiny blue shirt. The boy's shirt couldn't have been larger than something a 5-year-old would wear. Michael paused. The woman's hands were trembling, but her movements were careful, almost gentle, like she was fighting the world but protecting one fragile piece of it. "Hey, is everything all right?" he asked softly. Startled, the woman dropped the shirt. She pressed a hand over her chest and exhaled shakily. I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was back here," she said. Her voice was tired but kind. "Don't apologize," Michael said. "I just want to make sure you're okay." She forced a small smile. "Just washing my son's clothes. He had an accident." Again, her eyes glistened. "I can't afford to buy new ones." Michael's heart clenched. He introduced himself simply as Mike, the janitor. She introduced herself as Emily, a part-time cashier and a full-time single mother fighting battles the world didn't see. Emily talked, but only because she was embarrassed, not because she wanted sympathy. Her son Caleb had been sick. Medical bills piled up. The store cut her hours. Daycare was too expensive. She was choosing between rent and food. "But I'm still trying," she whispered, picking up the tiny shirt again. "I always try." For the first time in a long time, Michael felt something shift in him. Not pity, not charity, responsibility. She didn't know she was pouring her heart out to the CEO of the entire corporation she worked for. And he didn't tell her. Not yet, because he wanted to see the truth, her truth, before he changed anything. But what he didn't expect was that this night would change him too. Orange Book Chapter 2, The Day Everything Changed. The next morning, Michael returned to the store early, still undercover. He spotted Emily struggling at the register. The line was long. The manager, a man named Harris, barked orders at her like she was a machine. "Move faster, Emily. I don't pay you to talk. Clock out if you need a break, we don't have time for this." Michael watched silently, anger simmering. When a customer complained about a coupon glitch, Harris hissed at her, "Maybe you should try thinking for once." Emily apologized again and again, even though it wasn't her fault. Her shoulders drooped. Her eyes dimmed. When her break finally came, she walked to the back room, rubbing her temples, trying not to cry. Michael followed. "Rough day?" he asked. She tried to smile, but the mask cracked. "It's okay. I just need this job." He hesitated. "You deserve better." She shook her head. "People like me don't get better. We get enough to survive." Michael felt a punch to the chest. Because the company she worked for, his company, had allowed this environment. Managers like Harris, hours too low, support non-existent, and employees like Emily were drowning quietly under the weight of policies designed by executives who never saw a sink at the back of a store. Michael knew what he had to do. But he wanted to do it right. "Emily," he said gently. She looked up. He took a breath. I haven't been honest with you. My name isn't Mike. He removed the fake name badge. I'm Michael Gray, the CEO. She froze. Her breath caught. No, no, this is a joke. He shook his head. I saw you last night. I saw what you're going through. And I'm going to fix it. Emily stared at him, confused, emotional, trembling. You shouldn't have to wash your son's clothes in a sink, he said softly. You shouldn't be mistreated. You shouldn't be struggling alone. She covered her mouth, tears spilling. No one has ever cared. Michael smiled gently. Then let me be the first. What happened next shook the entire company. Michael ordered an immediate investigation. Harris was fired the same day. Employee policies were rewritten. Healthcare support increased. Hours became stable. Breaks became mandatory. Wages rose. And for Emily, he promoted her to store operations assistant, full-time, stable pay, benefits. But the most emotional moment was when he handed her a small card. It was a full scholarship for her son's medical care program. Emily collapsed into tears, whispering, Why would you do all this for me? Michael's voice was steady. Because sometimes, real leaders don't lead from the top. They led from the laundry sink. And as he walked out of store number 47, he realized something. He hadn't just found an employee in pain. He'd found the purpose he'd been missing.